Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the mind of an Terry Miller, Flight boss, the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now I want to talk about sexual attraction and astrology. Wait, my bad, flight astrology. So I want to talk about sexual attraction. Now, a lot of people may think this is backed and supported by some certain planets like Venus or Mars, or certain people may think this has something to do with trines or sextiles, you know, which that's just a form of attraction on a friend scale. But what you need to, now let's break this down before we actually get deep into this video, right? Now, a sextile and a trine is energy that you give off. A square and an opposition is energy you're going to receive. So a conjunction can play all in between. You see what I'm saying? Conjunction can play all in between. But the sextile and trine is the energy you give off, and the opposition and the squares is the energy you receive from other people's trines and sextiles. So when we talk about sexual attraction in astrology, what backs and support that is the motherfucking squares and oppositions. Because what is the squares and oppositions? It's related to the receiving energy. And the receiving energy is correlated to the feminine energy. And the feminine energy is more related to sexual nature. Because when you talk about sex and sexual attraction attract. So it becomes something you want to receive as a pleasure or something that's desirable. You see what I'm saying? So, if anything, it's back to supported by the square and opposition. And then before we get deeper into that, let me break that down even further so you can understand the layering concept of it. So, we have to understand what is sex. So, what is sex? Sex is nothing more, nothing less but two energies coming together to create another energy. Everything does it, from the mind to physical purposes with your sex organs. Two energies coming together to create another energy is how sex is correlated, right? So now that you know that, you have two ways this can happen. You have two energies that could come together in a harmonious way that creates sex, and two energies that come together in a painful way, that what we call sex. Now, how you decipher the two? Which one is harmonious and which one is painful, right? Now, the harmonious one is when two energies come together that's formulated in two different alchemy. The chemistry is two different elements. So one energy is mixed and mingled in one way, and the other energy is a whole nother mix and mingling, right? So even though they may share certain qualities, certain elements, certain energies, the mass of their energy is different, right? So when they come together, it creates a harmonious sex, a harmonious coming together. Now, a painful sex, a painful harmonious two energies coming together is when two energies are carrying the same amount or almost a similar amount of the same alchemy energy, of the same elements. You see what I'm saying? So, for an example, and then when they come together, it creates painful friction. Because sex is this friction. And this one creates a painful friction to create something. So for the most part, let me break this down into how y'all can understand it, right? Let's look at it as male and female, right? Now, as a male, you have the feminine and masculine nature in you, the same way a woman has a feminine and masculine nature in her. But here's the thing, when a woman is more mixture of the feminine energy, and a male is more mixture of the masculine energy. So even though they share similar energies, the woman has more of something else than the man, and the man has more of something else than the woman has. So when they come together, it creates a harmonious sex energy to create something else, right? And that's how something truly supposed to get created, because it can have two of something else to come to create something new. Now, the painful harmonious sex friction is when you have two of the same. So when two male or two women come together, they're mixed up with the majority of the same energies. So when they come together, it's going to cause more pain. So whether it's from mentally or physically with the organs, mentally it may cause a lot of pain from your loved ones and people outside of you in the world we in, and then physical it may cause pain. You letting another man go in your motherfucking booty hole, your booty hole might not be the same, and you might be shitting on yourself for the next 2 weeks. Same way for a female. Y'all might be rubbing, you might be rubbing on another girl so bad y'all eating each other out and things of that nature, but your friend might not be going to the doctor and getting a checkup the way she's supposed to, so your motherfucking ass got chlamydia in the mouth or something like that now. You see what I'm saying? Or got a rash on your twat for rubbing on hers. So it's going to cause some type of friction in some way, shape, or form. So that's what you need to understand. So that's what sex is in general. You know what I'm saying? It's the joining of two energies to come together to create another energy. This is why when I made my video about this white people are so, well, I hate to say white and black people. Let's just say lighter people, because you know you got Asians and things of that nature that's pretty light, and then you have the darker shade of people, which is like Africans or you know, like certain like Mexicans, certain Latinos may be dark, and then you have certain Hispanic people maybe light. But for the most part, let's just talk about it like that. But my video was titled "White People Are Sun Gods and Black People Are Moon Gods," where in this video I'm titling "Light People Are Sun Gods and Dark People Are Moon Gods," because people don't understand, when you're from the moon, you're from another star that we can't basically see the color like we see this close star that's close to us. So for the most part, it's more faint. So when you come here, you're going to carry out the more shade of that color. And then people who are lighter, right, they come in I call them sun gods. Now a lot of people come up with dumb indoctrinated arguments. They say, okay, if they sun gods, why do they burn up under the sun and things of that nature? See, and if you were spiritually inclined and you had some type of understanding, you will be able to, and you watch Archangel Uriel, you will be able to understand how you come to that motherfucking conclusion. You see what I'm saying? Now, for the most part, they say the lighter you are, the more you need sunscreen, and the more the sun burn your ass up. And that's their motherfucking argument. But here's what you need to understand, right? When two of the same majority mixed up energies come together, it causes a painful friction, right? So if they are burning up under the sun, that means they are more mixture of that same element. So when you look at the sun is light. When you look at them, they're light. So this is why they could prevail more in the dark. Vice versa, the darker you are, you can stay in the sun longer because you are not a part of that element. You see what I'm saying? So you can receive that light better than they can. You get it? So this is why you could be in the sun a lot longer, and this is why they could be in nighttime a lot longer. So your arguments really, your racist arguments, indoctrinated mind, really don't work, because you're gonna be like, oh, but these motherfuckers can't live in the sun. But okay, white people or light people could turn around and motherfucking tell you, if the motherfucking sun was to get up and motherfucking disappear today, your motherfucking race gonna disappear quicker than us, because your motherfucking ass can't motherfucking survive without the sun. See, that's why I hate to get into anything, any indoctrinations, because I'll be a motherfucking beast when it comes to arguing for motherfuckers' positions. But reason why I can see it that way, because I have no position, I have no level, I have no ascension, I have no hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? I take the shape and form of what's needed for the time, and God can work through anybody who got that kind of nature, who have the ability to take any shape and form the time is needed. Because anytime you give a limit to your shape and form, you only there. So anybody could come across and go above it or lower, or no matter how high or low it is. But for the most part, yeah, that's like I was saying. So this is why light on light gonna cause friction. You know what I'm saying? Dark on dark gonna cause friction. This is why your ass end up getting light when your ass and things of that nature, and start not feeling right, and your body go crazy when you're not getting no fucking vitamin D from the sun as a fucking dark person. And this is why white people getting fucking this is why at nighttime or when it's cold outside, they can resonate better at that time, and they need to chill there for their skin and stuff to calm down. But that's all. That's all. Don't get into no fucking races and shit like that, and race concepts, and be thinking I'm talking just jibbing jabbing, nigga. When I'm talking, it's motherfucking real. You just haven't got to that level of consciousness yet to see it from that point of view. Now, for the most part, let's talk about sexual attraction. Now, sexual attraction is backed and supported by the square in opposition. Because after I just ran all that down, y'all should have an understanding now. The sextile and trine is just how one get along. This is why you could meet somebody, right? And you could be around somebody, and females, y'all know, females, you know this. you could be around somebody and be like, oh man, I'll let him hit, I'll let him fuck, right? But then you'll talk to him a few times and go out a few times and start to realize like, I thought I would, but the way he act, I don't think I trust him, or he act in a way that if I feel vulnerable, or I feel a certain way, and I might not feel comfortable. And then on the guy side, you'd be like, man, I go out with her, I take her out on a date, whatever like that. But the way she act, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to hit. But if she gonna act like that, I ain't trying to go on no more dates or go in a relationship like that. Okay, now you have those moments more times than you have as successful moments. You see what I'm saying? And why is that? Why do that happen way more majority of the time? Females, y'all come across way more guys that y'all look at and be like, oh, I'll let him hit. But then you start to realize like, I know, once you start to know things about him, oh no, I won't. You have more of those times than running into people that you'll let hit and actually fully go through with it without feeling no other kind of way, and you have a relationship. Why is that? The reason it's like that is because it's a square. See, the square of the opposition creates sexual attraction. You see what I'm saying? Because opposites attract. And what attract can also create friction. But the square is a learning process. That makes something you want to learn from. Something that makes you curious. So for the most part, the squares and the oppositions is, so the sexual attraction come from the square and the opposition. But when you get around this person or talk to him for a few times, you might not relate because y'all might not share no sextiles or trines. You see what I'm saying? So the sextile and trine is just more like a friendly note. So if you're in a relationship or you got a friend that y'all got more sextile and trines than squares and oppositions, then what'll happen here is you'll look at that person more as a friend. So females, y'all probably got this kind of problem. Y'all probably got certain dudes that y'all can get along with and talk with, but you got that sense of you be letting other people fuck, people who ain't even good for you, or things of that nature. And then you be thinking about it like, well, it's just something about this guy, I just like to talk to him, but I don't like to go. You know why? Because y'all got more sextiles and trines, but ain't no squares and oppositions. So there might not be no sexual attraction, but it may just be the attraction of bonding, relating, communicating, being on the same path, being able to help each other in other ways that doesn't deal with friction. Because sex itself is friction. And when you look at friction itself, that's more on the negative side of energy. And the negative is just more feminine. But pain and all that shit come from that energy. That don't come from the masculine energy. Pain and all that shit come from the feminine energy. So when you talk about sex and friction and all that shit came from the feminine energy wanting to receive something. You see what I'm saying? Wanting to receive or deserve something or get into his passions. And the masculine energy don't deal with pain and things of that nature. This is why when you look at the masculine and the feminine physical representations on this earth, this is why males play out certain characteristics of not showing pain, and females show characteristics of always being in their emotions and feelings, or showing pain. And when they both come together, they balance each other out. The male end up becoming the light in the direction. The female end up becoming the behind the scenes emotional support, or the foundation, or the structure itself. You see what I'm saying? And the motherfucker, the position that give your ass a sense on where you need to direct your direction towards. You see what I'm saying? So it goes motherfucking deep in a bunch of different analogies. But when we talk about the squares and the oppositions, that's what creates sexual attraction. So it's really not even just really backed and supported by Venus and Mars. It's really the squares and the oppositions. So what do I mean by that? If you have a fucking Venus squaring somebody's Mars, that's sexual attraction. If you got your fucking sun opposing or squaring someone else's sun, moon, or ascendant, that's motherfucking sexual attraction. And like I said, this don't have nothing to do with personality. This is just purely sexual attraction. These is a lot of times the people you run into in your life and have a bunch of one night stands with. You see what I'm saying? Or a few night stands. But you don't see the relationship going anywhere further than that. So this is where the side nigga or the side bitch concept come into. This is a person you share a lot of sexual attraction with, but don't share the day-to-day relativeness with, which is the sextile and the trine, or the conjunction. You just share the sexual attraction, which is the square and the opposition, which is a form of friction. So you like that friction, but if you take that friction any further, you know that the relationship aspect of it won't last. That'll be a friction you don't want. So you just keep that friction on that level. There's many different levels of frictions. That's what you need to understand. All that comes from really the feminine energy. This is why even if you are really in tune when you are having sex, right, it would appear that the man is in pleasure and it would appear that the woman is in pain. If you really look at it, if you really think about it from an aspect, next time you having sex, really pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Like really pay attention to what's actually going on. The man would appear to be in another state, which is dealing with excitement, and a woman would be in a state of pain. But the way it's being correlated on that level of friction is seen in another way. So it may be seen as pleasurable for both parties, but in the female eyes it's pleasurable in a painful way, and in the male eyes is pleasurable in a masculine way. You see what I'm saying? In a giving way. So it's more of a giving pain, a pleasure of giving pain, and a woman is more of a pleasure of taking pain. Then how that goes off in a more dense level, the woman give the pain by the birth, and the male take the pain by having to take the responsibility of that birth. Then it goes in, it's like layers and loops and layers that we didn't developed around ourselves, that if you like, I can go deeper than that, but you have to go deep on your own. I can just take you to the water. Like, I can just give you the concept and idea how it's supposed to be seen, and then you can start seeing it the way you want to see it. You know what I'm saying? With your own imagination and dream and spirituality and things of that nature. So we can keep developing and be as one, because we on the same page. You just got your own way of seeing that page, or you just got your own page in our book, our overall book together. So, you know, yeah, the sextile. So pay attention to the squares, because that creates sexual attraction. That's going to let you know how good the sex is going to be, what kind of squares you got. Like, if you got if your sun square your partner's Mars, that's real good. If you got Mars opposing Venus, that's real good. You know what I'm saying? If y'all guys got Mercury opposing each other's Mercuries, that's real good. You know what I'm saying? A person's Saturn square or opposing another person's Venus. You see what I'm saying? A person's Pluto square or a person's Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. You know, all these are placements for sexual attractions. You know what I'm saying? Off the bat. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the especially even if you want to go to a lower level of Venus and Mars. But you know, Moon, when a moon square your partner's Venus, you know what I'm saying, that's, you want to react to how that person express their love, appreciation, value, and relativeness. And then the square creates the learning process, so you want to learn it. And how do you learn that aspect? Having sex. You see what I'm saying? It's like it goes into different scenarios. When you want to look at a person, your sun square or opposing another person's Pluto. You know what I'm saying? Even though this is more rare, but you know it's still the same thing. A person want to transform the way another person act on a deep level. How do a person act on a deep level? Having sex. You know what I'm saying? You want to know how a person act when y'all doing occult-like things. You know what I'm saying? Even when you want to look at motherfucking a motherfucking Mars squaring or opposing another person's sun. See what I'm saying? This is a person whose intent or passions are motivated to be a part of someone else's actions. Because Mars is intent, willpower, motivation. The sun is actions. So when it's square, you want to learn, so that creates curiosity. Or when it's opposing, that creates opposites attracts. Before you even know if it could be a friction or not, as opposing to other levels that y'all can't get along in. But it's going to cause friction, which is sexual attraction, right? So a person's sun squaring or opposing a person's Mars, this what makes intent, willpower, and passion, right? Passion for someone's actions, or to be seen in someone else's intentions. You see what I'm saying? To become one with the passion and the action. So how do you become one with passion and action? One person's passion come together with another person's actions. Sex. You see what I'm saying? It can be sex mentally, sex organally, however. You know what I'm saying? But y'all curious, or is bringing a sense of friction. So, you know, pay very close attention, because a person who now, here's the thing. If you are a person who's looking at someone and it's purely sexual attraction, y'all might got nothing but oppositions and squares. So the relationship can be nothing more but a sexual relationship. The moment it goes further than a sexual relationship, and y'all try to live together, or y'all try to have a relationship and things of that nature, y'all ain't gonna do nothing but create a bunch of chaos for each other. You see what I'm saying? If y'all ain't got no forms of sextiles and trines to keep the relationship going on another level instead of just the sexual level. You know what I'm saying? But then you have to look at it and vice versa. If you in a relationship with a person, y'all ain't got nothing but sextiles and trines, y'all may not ever have sex. See what I'm saying? Y'all may have sex like once a week or little to none. And it may not even matter none in your relationship. And then gradually but shortly, y'all gonna end up start having sex with other people anyway, and then that's gonna create another scenario. So you know that goes deep into a lot of different things, but for the most part, pay attention to the squares and oppositions, because that's gonna tell you your sexual attraction to others, and the signs that square and opposing each other is gonna tell you how the sexual attraction is being played out. For an example, like I said, when you're looking at someone's sun squaring whatever your planet is, if their sun is squaring and opposing one of your planets, if it's their sun, you are sexually attracted to their actions, how they act, how they see things. See what I'm saying? If your alignment is squaring and opposing their moon, then you're sexually attracted to how they react to things, how they respond, like just genuinely who they are. If your alignment is squaring or opposing their ascendant, then you are sexually attracted to their personality in some way, their personal issues, their personal affairs in some type of way. If your alignment is squaring and opposing one of their Mercury, then you are sexually attracted to the way they think, their intellect. If it's their Venus, you're sexually attracted if one of your alignments is squaring or opposing their Venus, you are sexually attracted to how they love, the things that they appreciate, the things they value, the things they value, the things they're willing to compromise with. And you are trying to make yourself one of these things. See what I'm saying? If it's their Mars, you are sexually attracted to their passion, their desires, their alternative motives, their intentions, their body language, the way they move their body. You see what I'm saying? If it's their Jupiter, you are sexually attracted to their wisdom, their knowledge, their experiences in their life, their meanings and reasonings, and their morals. If it's Saturn, you're sexually attracted to how this person gains structure in their life, how they handle themselves, where they place and receive boundaries and restrictions and limits, their status, their job, or how they see reality. You see what I'm saying? If it's Uranus, it's their uniqueness and originality. If it's Neptune, it's their dreams, illusions, creativity. If it's Pluto, see, we get more vague once the further away the planets we get. That's more and more leaving this reality to things that don't really matter physically. But you know, Pluto, you are sexually attracted to this person, power and control, the way they take power and control over things and transform their life. So you see, you got it clear. You know, so I could go even deeper than this. There's so many analogies I could break down to give you an understanding. But I'm gonna stop here because I don't want this video to be too long to the point that I gotta save it on one of my video software programs and wait 2 hours just for this to upload this video. Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air.